Hello again, friends. This week we have a request from a new viewer. Oh, I do so love requests. It helps me find stories I never knew existed, and this is no exception. This week we will read a Jewish fable. I'm so excited. I just can't wait. So let's dive right into The Innkeeper's Clever Daughter. Once there was a nobleman, and he had 3 Jewish tenants on his estate. One held the forest concession, another operated the mill. The third, the poorest of them, ran the inn.
All right, there you go. Enjoy your drink. Bye-bye. This is fine.
One day the nobleman summoned the 3 and said to them, I am going to put to you 3 questions. Which is the swiftest thing in the world? Which is the fattest? Which is the dearest? The one who answers correctly all of these questions won't have to pay me any rent for 10 years. And whoever fails to give me the correct answer, I'll send packing from my estate.
Where's the passenger processing lounge for the lunar shuttle?
Concourse Lounge C, 4th level.
Thanks.
Next.
How long is my parking permit good for?
2 hours.
Thank you.
Yes, next.
What's the fastest animal on Earth?
The cheetah. Next.
The Jew who had the forest concession and the one who operated the mill did not think very long and decided between them to give the following answers. The swiftest thing in the world is the nobleman's horse. The fattest is the nobleman's pig, and the dearest is the nobleman's wife. The poor innkeeper, however, went home feeling very much worried. He had only 3 days' time to answer the nobleman's questions. He racked his brains. What answers could he give? Now the innkeeper had a daughter. She was very pretty and clever. What is worrying you so, father? She asked. He told her about the nobleman's 3 questions. Why shouldn't I worry? He cried. I've thought and thought, but I cannot find the answers. There is nothing to worry about, father, she told him. The questions are very easy. The swiftest thing in the world is thought. The fattest is the earth. The dearest is sleep. When the 3 days were up, the 3 Jewish tenants went to see the landowner. Pridefully the first 2 gave the answers they had agreed upon beforehand, thinking that the landowner would feel flattered by them. You're wrong, cried the nobleman. Now pack up and leave my estate right away, and don't you dare come back. But when he heard the innkeeper's answers, he was filled with wonder. I like your answers very much, he told them, but I know you didn't think them up by yourself. Confess, who gave you the answers? It was my daughter, the innkeeper answered. Your daughter? Exclaimed the nobleman in surprise. Since she is so clever, I'd very much like to see her. Bring her to me in 3 days' time, but listen carefully. She must come here neither walking nor riding, neither dressed nor naked. She must also bring me a gift that is not a gift. The innkeeper returned home, even more worried than the first time. What now, father? His daughter asked him. What's worrying you? He then told her of the nobleman's request to see her and of his instructions. Oh, well, that's easy. She just needs to paint herself, go there in a jog, and give him a white elephant. I think that's all 3 of them, right?
She could just full-on sprint there.
Ooh, yeah, sprinting, also not walking or riding. Well, what is there to worry about, she said. Go to the marketplace and buy me a fishing net, also a goat, a couple of pigeons, and several pounds of meat. He did as she told him, and he brought to her his purchases. At the appointed time she undressed and wound herself in the fishing net, so she was neither dressed nor naked. She then mounted the goat, her feet dragging on the ground, so that she was neither riding nor walking.
She's doing both.
Then she took the 2 pigeons in one hand and the meat in the other. In this way she arrived at the nobleman's house. The nobleman stood at the window watching her arrival. As soon as he saw her, he turned his dogs on her. That feels like cheating. And it's really mean. I'm not sure I like this guy. and as they tried to attack her, she threw them the meat. So they pounced on the meat and let her pass into the house. "I've brought you a gift that is not a gift," she said to the nobleman, stretching out her hand, holding the 2 pigeons. But suddenly she released the birds, and they flew out the window. "Behold! Bird poop!" The nobleman was enchanted with her. "What a very clever girl you are," he cried. "I want to marry you, but only on one condition. Never must you interfere in my affairs. Also, hi, my name is Rupert. I'd like to marry you."
No.
She gave him her promise, and he made her his wife. One day, as she stood at the window, she saw a weeping peasant pass by. "Why do you weep?" she asked him. "My neighbor and I own a stable in partnership," he told her. "He keeps the wagon there, and I a mare. Last night the mare gave birth to a pony under my neighbor's wagon, whereupon my neighbor insisted that the pony rightfully belonged to him. So I hauled him before the nobleman, who upheld him and said the pony was his. How unjust, I say." "Take my advice," the nobleman's wife said. "Get a fishing rod and station yourself before my husband's window. Nearby you'll find a sand heap. Pretend you are catching fish there. My husband will surely be amazed and will ask you, 'How can you catch fish in a sand heap?' So you will answer him, 'If a wagon can give birth to a pony, then I can catch fish in a sand heap.'"
Well, there goes her promise.
Oops. The peasant did as she told him, and it happened exactly as she said it would. When the nobleman heard the peasant's answer, he said to him, "You didn't think this up out of your own head. Confess, who told you?"
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right.
"It was your wife." Angrily, the nobleman went to look for his wife. "You have broken your promise not to interfere in my affairs," he stormed at her. "Go and choose from all my possessions that which you deem the most precious, and return to your father's house."
"Milady, you may have anything you can carry."
"Very well," she answered. "I will go, but before I do, I would like to dine with you for the last time." He consented, and during dinner she plied him with much wine. When he had drunk a great deal, he became drowsy and fell asleep. Thereupon she ordered that his carriage be made ready. She then drove him, as he slept, to her father's house. When he sobered up and discovered where he was, he asked in surprise, "How did I ever get here?" "It was I who brought you here," his wife confessed. "Don't you remember telling me to choose the most precious possession you owned, and then to return to my father's house? So I looked all over your possessions, and, not finding any of them as precious as you, I carried you away with me to my father's house." The nobleman was overjoyed. "Since you love me so, let's go home," he said. So they were reconciled and lived in prosperity and in honor for the rest of their lives.
Oh my god, a happy ending.
I know! What are we supposed to do with that? I mean, it's a good story with a fun ending. It's like they're not trying at all. I really enjoyed that. My only note? Name your characters. Why is that so hard?
Names are hard.
I clearly need to find more Jewish tales. They seem to be good, coherent, not depressing stories. Take that, Hans Christian Andersen. Well, we have come to the end of another video. I would like to thank Pixabay.com for everything that they have that makes my channel worth watching, like backgrounds and music and, everything. I would also like to bring your attention to the little train that will go across the bottom that will talk about liking and sharing, but most importantly, about commenting. And, of course, if you've got any requests or stories you'd like to hear me read, please let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to get a suggestion. And most of all, I would like to thank you, my friends, for being here, for joining me, and for listening to our silly stories. You all make it worthwhile. And now a special thank you to my Patreon friends.